doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Uh, Good to see you folks that are popping up. If you need anything, like always, just shoot it in the little chat there, and I'll probably miss it, but Kara will see it and very subtly wave from the other room or yell or throw a shoe or something at me, and we'll address it. So if you need something, holler. Hope everybody's doing well, and I guess we'll just get going. I know last week I think we kind of talked about the kind of getting unstuck thing, and this week I wanted to kind of take it a little further and encourage folks that are listening and watching and to consider doing or working through in Celebrate Recovery or some of the recovery programs. It would be referred to as a step study, but basically it's just doing what we have discussed several times over the last few months, maybe a year, is seriously sitting down and doing a honest and moral inventory of your life, an evaluation. You know, we've talked about sort of a checklist that we kind of keep going in our mind, like, hey, we're doing well at this and we're struggling here. It's basically that, oftentimes maybe a little bit more in depth and focused on specific things that we have struggled with or are struggling with. You know, simply put, it would be, hey, I am always, when nobody's around, I am looking at pornography. And that's the thing. I mean, that's a big one. And then you would want to dig down into the why behind it and what's driving that. Or I sneak off and I drink, or I use drugs. You know, those are some of the big ones. But a lot of times, more often than not, after that big hurdle is jumped and we've dealt with it, we think that's kind of the end of it in a lot of ways. And really, it should be kind of just the beginning, because now we've pulled that big glaring thing out of the picture, and now all the woundedness and the struggle is there, and we need to kind of dig into that. So kind of building off the getting out of the unstuck sort of feel and the why am I in this cycle of, disappointment, shame, fear, anger, the sort of revolving thing. I want to just encourage you to dig in and take a look at it. And I know with our Thursday night group, we've got several folks that I'm sort of helping navigate this right now, and we're going to continue to discuss this over, the next, probably moving forward. It will be a continued conversation that is sort of going on. And the thing about it is everybody has something that they struggle with. We talk sometimes about hurts, hang-ups, and habits. The hurt is really what we want to get to. What is hurt and broken that has caused the hang-up that has led to the habit? And so we want to kind of get to the root of things. And if you go through this process, you basically make a chart or a list. You can make it as simple or as complex as you want. If you're a spreadsheet kind of guy or gal, you love yourself some Excel. You can do some stuff. If you just have a piece of paper and you want to jot some stuff down real simple, that's fine. Keep notes on your phone, that's fine. Whatever works for you. But you identify maybe what caused some of this, whether it's a person or an event, the kind of the who, the what happened, and what you find is in that person, we'll say, there's a lot of resentment. When you think about that person, your resentment sort of festers up. Fear comes and is the emotion that sort of gets swirling around. An event that happened, something that where maybe someone did or didn't do something, and it's all sort of lumped together. And when you think about that, resentment, fear, anger begins to sort of stir. And that's kind of what we identify first. I mean, that's the easy part, sort of, because we all probably know. I mean, I can think back to a few things, and I mean, it's like it happened this morning. It can be so vivid sometimes. So we know the thing, the person, the who, the what, and then the cause of that is what did they do or not do that hurt us? And then what's the effect? How did it affect us? What action did it have in my life or your life? Did it cause you to pull away? Did it cause you to lash out? Did it cause you to numb with something else? Drugs, alcohol, sex, bad relationships, websites you shouldn't be at. I don't know. And see, you kind of see how this sort of builds, and then you're able to identify the damage that it has done to you and others around you. And then you're able to acknowledge, and as you work through this, your role in how you, not that you did anything wrong to deserve it, but the ripple, we have a role to play in that. The resentment, the hurt, the anger, the fear caused me to lash out. It caused me to push people away. It caused me to talk certain ways to people that loved me. And it kind of goes on from there. And so the thing that's so helpful and so much healing is oftentimes it's just acknowledging what it was carries so much weight. And when that comes out of us, it is such a burden lifted. And the thing about doing this is you're not going to do this alone. You're going to do this with someone guiding you, a guy, like a mentor, a sponsor, a sort of an accountability partner, someone that has done this before, someone that has walked through this process and can help you navigate this. And then, so you're not doing it alone. You're writing it down maybe for the first time. You're praying about it maybe for the first time. You're sharing it outwardly with someone that loves and cares for you maybe for the first time. So there's a lot of first. And then there's an awful lot of healing that comes. There's an awful lot of process that comes. The emotions that are stirred are no longer stifled and pushed away. They're allowed to surface. God put those emotions in us for a reason. We don't have to be scared of them, but we need to process through them. Paul says it's okay to be angry, but don't let that anger cause you to do sinful things. It's okay to be mad about something, but don't allow that madness and that resentment to trigger you into doing things that you will regret and that you will then have to apologize for. So there's a process to it, and it doesn't happen overnight, and it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But when you look at the overarching picture of recovery and the difference between being sober and living a life of recovery, the difference is stuff like this. Recovery fosters this healing, this spiritual growth and development, and this love and this compassion, because you're doing it with someone and God's hand is on you. So I want to encourage you, if you've never thought about doing this, what are you waiting for? If you have questions about it, ask me. I'm happy to help guide you through this. If you don't want to talk to me about it, I get that. But I can help you connect with people that will walk you through this journey. I heard a testimony a couple weeks ago when I was in California at that Celebrate Recovery Summit, and a lady that had been clean and sober for 20 some odd years and is in a leadership position within the Vigor, or the national level, I think is where she's at. And I'm going to try to get what I listened to or what she's shared, where I can share it with some of you guys, because I think it was so beautiful. But she talked about over her lifetime as a sober person that is living a recovered life. When she's 20 years ago, she got clean from drugs and alcohol and crazy relationship stuff that she shared. But she talked about since then several times throughout her life that she's dug into this honest and deep moral inventory and this checklist, and how many times it has helped her battle through and struggle through things that she was dealing with, and how God had used that to heal her, and then in turn her help other people that were struggling with things. And it wasn't these humongous things like, she was living on the streets and doing all these things. It was, something was wrong in her home with her husband and her kids, something she wasn't doing, as best she could. So she kind of went through this process. She talked about struggling with financial things and having a twisted view of her budget and the way that affected her marriage. And she did these things. It was beautiful to hear her share how these little hang-ups that she identified in her life were becoming worse, and they were becoming, habit forming. And then they were just, it was so refreshing to hear someone talk about these things that we sort of sweep under the rug and say, hey, that's not that big a deal. It is a big deal, because it grows into this thing that hurts us and damages our marriages and damages our ability to be moms and dads, damages our ability to be loving neighbors and friends and supportive people with folks that we love. These little things, they fester and grow if we don't deal with them. And this is the way we do it. This is the way. It's just how this whole deal works. Jesus says, happy are the pure in heart. And that's what we're striving for. We're striving for a heart that is pure and like Christ. And this is one of the ways that we work through damages and hurts and hang-ups and allow God to heal us. So guys, if I encourage you, think about it, pray about it, talk to me about it. And let's dig into this. I'm happy to help you navigate this and give you the resources that you need to do this so you don't feel overwhelmed. Anyway, guys, I just want to encourage you. I love you. If you need us, we're here for you. I hope to see a bunch of you guys tomorrow night, Thursday, Buchanan, Georgia, OCR, One Church Recovery. Come eat dinner with us, hang out with us, and let us love on you, cheer you on, and give you a big thumbs up. And if you play your cards right, you might get a side hug from me. If you're lucky. Love you guys. Y'all have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.